Welcome back to another edition of Ask LadySpeech. And this time we're talking about malevolent ancestors. What's up, everybody? It's your favorite auntie uncle. It's your favorite pirate captain. It's your favorite goddess king. It's your favorite hood healer, high priestess, motivational dominatrix, LadySpeech in the place to be. And I want to welcome you back to my channel. You could be anywhere in the world. Absolutely, positively anywhere in the world. As a matter of fact, you are somewhere in the world. And you're also choosing to share just a little bit of time and just a little bit of space with me. So thank you for that. I ain't gonna take up all your time, just a little bit of your time. Now, if you like what I'm doing, if you like what you see, if you're feeling any of this, if you're feeling any of me, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that notifications bell so you can keep up with everything I got going on over here, baby. And I got a lot of randomness going on over here. So hit the buttons, honey. Hit the buttons. Because we just doing what we doing over here. And you need to keep up with it. Now, let's get into today's video. Shall we? All right, good people. We back with another Ask LadySpeech, and this one is all about ancestors, the malevolent ancestors. Y'all hear me speak to the fact that in my ancestor veneration practice, and in most ancestor veneration practices, we call upon the ancestors that mean us good, that want us to win. But today we're going to talk about malevolent ancestors. This question that we're going to talk about today, number one, is from Jazzy J. And number two, this question came from another YouTube video that I did, another Ask LadySpeech YouTube video that I did, which is all about, let's talk about ancestor acceptance and ancestor healing. So I'm going to go ahead and read this question to you twice, and then we're going to take a deep dive. So first off, thank you, Jazzy J, for asking this question. This is going to give us a chance to get into a different aspect of ancestor veneration that a lot of people don't talk about. So I'm so thankful that you asked this. The question is late to the party, but I have a question. You speak on how an ancestor won't show up for you, but have you ever heard of an ancestor harming someone? Like those racist, hateful ancestors, do they really just leave you alone? Or can it be more dangerous than that if you try to reach out? Now this is a many-level, many-tiered, nuanced question, and we're going to break up into all of that. Let me go ahead and read it to you one more again. You speak on how an ancestor won't show up for you, but have you ever heard of an ancestor harming someone? Like those racist, hateful ancestors, do they really just leave you alone? Or can it be more dangerous than that if you try to reach out? That's a meaty question. That's a meaty question. That's a thick question. Fortunately, I've got a meaty answer. I've got a thick answer. Let's get into it. Have I heard of racist or hateful ancestors actively looking to harm descendants of theirs? Yes. Yes, I have. Have I heard of people, practitioners who are very good at what they do? Have I heard of practitioners, spiritualists, being able to conjure up those ancestors in people's lineage and turning them against their lineage? Yes. Yes, I have. I come from spiritual traditions. I practice spiritual traditions that believe in ancestor veneration, that have ancestor acknowledgement and veneration at their focus, at their core. They believe in the acknowledgement of the ancestors. We believe that that is the foundation in a lot of cases for your spiritual team. In my traditions, I honor and I venerate my ancestors. I acknowledge them. I acknowledge that I stand on their shoulders, that their victories are my victories, that we are shared past, and history is something to be cherished. It's something to be celebrated, and it's something to be learned from. The act of venerating my ancestors allows me to draw closer to them. It allows me to draw closer to myself. It allows me to draw closer to spirit. It allows me to know myself. It allows me to know my spiritual team, the rest of my spiritual team. It is foundational for so much. In my traditions, we stress that you call upon your benevolent ancestors and you venerate, you feed those benevolent ancestors, those ancestors that love you. Those ancestors that adore you, those ancestors that are looking for your highest good, that are working for your highest good. In my ancestor traditions, in the traditions that I follow, we acknowledge the humanity of our ancestors. You know, there's this saying, don't speak ill of the dead. I don't follow that. And I've always hated that saying, because if the dead are who they died who they were. If they died great people, speak on that. If they died not great people, speak on that, because we can only learn. Give the dead the access to their full humanity. So in my traditions, we acknowledge that. We acknowledge the fullness of our ancestors. We acknowledge the fullness of them, the fullness of their humanity, their greatness, their defeats, their victories, their mistakes. We understand that when we call upon our benevolent ancestors, our ancestors who love us, we might have problematic ancestors who might show up for us because they love us, and the work that they do for us is good work. When we speak on ancestor veneration and connecting with ancestors, it's a very nuanced situation. And a lot of times folks like to remove the humanity from our ancestors. They were human. They were human. And it's important to understand, acknowledge who they were before they left. Can some ancestors choose to elevate and change? Yes, they can. That's a subject for another video. But when it comes to honoring our ancestors, venerating our ancestors, learning about our ancestors, understanding our ancestors, it's important that we give them access to their full humanity. It's important. Now, in giving access to our ancestors and acknowledging our ancestors' full humanity, what we're going to find is there's some ancestors who were malevolent, who were not so great. And let's be clear, all of us have that in our ancestry. All of us. You come from a lineage and a line of people that is hundreds of folks deep. It's a long line. That's a lot of people. Everybody has greatness in their lineage, and everybody has fuck shit in their lineage. Here's the thing. You and your ancestors, you're going to attract the ones that love and adore you, that have a connection to you. For the most part, the ones that hate you, have a disdain for you, will stay away. For the most part. Because of my ancestor veneration practice, because I am consistently honoring the ones that love me, that work for me, because I'm consistently acknowledging their love for me, their work for me, I feed them all the time. I foster my relationship. Because I do this with my benevolent ancestors, you know who they keep away from me? The malevolent ancestors. You know how I just said every once in a while and every now and again, sometimes those who mean you harm won't stay away? Well, because I feed the ones that love me. Because I give and I honor the ones that love me. Because I acknowledge the ones that love me. They do that work on the other side for me. They do that work on the other side for me. That's the benefit of feeding your ancestors. That's the benefit of acknowledging your ancestors. That's the benefit of ancestor veneration practice, because part of what they do is protect you on all levels, and especially that realm, because that's their realm. That's their playground. That's where they be at. They are way more equipped to fight the things that are coming from you on that side, because that's their playground. That's one of the benefits of it. There's a lot of benefits to this ancestor veneration practice, but that's one of the big ones, baby. That's one of the big ones. Now let's talk about what happens when you don't feed your ancestors, when you don't venerate your ancestors, and a practitioner comes along who knows what to do with those unfed ancestors. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Now I'm going to go ahead and put my Cash App and my PayPal and my Venmo in the comments, because I'm about to take y'all to church and drop you off at school. I'm about to hip you to some game when it comes to deep magic. A practitioner who knows what they're doing, a worker of the dead like myself, a medium or a necromancer, a person who has an affinity or just knows what they're doing, a well-studied magic individual. If they find out, if they divine, if they figure out that you are not in contact with your ancestors, a skilled person can turn your own people against you. A skilled person can locate your unfed ancestors, your unlistened to ancestors, and simply offer them a bit of mystical, magical attention. A skilled person can feed your ancestors if you don't. Establish a bond that you don't have. And then do workings on your lineage and you without your consent or participation. This is one of the most common ways I see ancestors working against the people in their lineage. When someone does it from the outside. When someone tickles that fancy, stimulates that from the outside. That's one of the most common ways I see that get activated. This is why a connection to your spiritual team is important. This is why when I teach my students, there's not a lot of magic I teach you in the beginning. What I teach you is how to connect. What I encourage and foster is you connecting with your spirit guides and your people. Because if you do that, you will be way more secure in this life. There are those of you who are out here learning deep magic spells and all kinds of stuff, and you have no idea how to communicate with your ancestors. It is so easy for a knowledgeable person to come in there and do a few simple things and mess up the trajectory of your whole spiritual practice. So the short answer, have I seen racist ancestors, hateful ancestors work against the people in their lineage? Yes, I have. Does it happen a lot on its own? Sometimes it does. Sometimes it does. Does it happen a lot when someone who knows what they're doing tickles that fancy and stimulates that from the outside? Oh yeah, it happens a lot more then. It happens a lot more then. If we're going to talk about ancestor harm, ancestors doing part of their lineage harm, then we're going to have to talk about something that a lot of people don't talk about in public. This is the part where I'm going to say the quiet part, real loud, out loud. There are some of you who come from lineages that were quite oppressive. There are some of you whose lineages and ancestors participated in some very heinous things in regards to the torture of Black and Indigenous people. There are some of you whose ancestors were instrumental in institutionalizing white supremacy, enslavement, the oppression of indigenous people. There are some of you who have the blood of the oppressed in your lineage due to nefarious reasons. A lot of y'all don't think about how some of those ancestors are in your lineages, creating havoc for you and your family because these secrets aren't being acknowledged and discussed. We often talk about, I hear a lot of people of color speak about ancestors and what to do about the racist colonizer ancestors that are in their lineage due to the nasty history of colonialism. I rarely hear white people speak about the effects of the oppressed in your lineage. But please know, whether or not you talk about it or not, it's there. It's there. Some of you are going through things in your lineages because of what some of your ancestors did to indigenous people and to what some of your ancestors did to the enslaved Africans. And because people will not talk about history, because people will not talk about these things, you have the blood of the oppressed playing havoc inside of your lineages, cursing y'all over and over again to really messed up stories. It's something to think about. It's something to ponder. It's something to think about. It's something to ponder. And that's that on ancestor veneration. And that's that on that. If you made it to the end of this video, gold star for you, baby. Thank you so very much for tuning in. Thank you so very much for listening up. Thank you so very much for your time and attention, baby. I want to thank you, Jazzy J, for your question. I'm pretty sure that there's going to be some questions under this video that I'm going to use to make another Ask LadySpeech video. Let me know what you're thinking in the comments. Let me know if this made a light bulb go off inside your head. Let me know. Are you someone who venerates your ancestors? Is that a part of your practice? Did this connect the dots on some things? Or do you have a question? Let me know in the comments. All right, you beautiful people. I didn't want to take up all of your time. Just a bit of your time, and I'm done. That mission accomplished. Thank you for everything. Thank you for your support. Thank you for listening up. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for your time. Thank you for everything. Just in case no one has told you today, you are worthy of love simply because you exist. You ain't gotta qualify it. You ain't gotta earn it. You are worthy of love simply because you exist. And on that note, I'm gonna let your beautiful self go, honey. You got a lot of things you gotta do. From art to taking care of these kids, to taking care of yourself, to cleaning, to laundry, get them dishes washed. Whatever it is, you got to get it done. So go get it done. And I wish for you a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, a great middle of the night, a great whenever you see this. I wish for you a great life. A great month, a great year, a great end of the year, the great beginning of the year, a great decade, a great everything. And I will see you when I see you. Now, you know the drill. If you like what I'm doing, if you like what you see, if you're feeling any of this, if you're feeling any of me, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell, so you can keep up with everything I'm putting down over here. And God, Goddess, Creator, Ancestors, Lawa, Orisha, Guardian Angels, Universe, Spiritual Team, Willing, Ancestors, 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 Benevolent, Ancestors willing. I will see you in the next video. Mwah. Peace.